Welcome back to the Boys and Ball Pod. We're talking college football. We had a wild rivalry game weekend last week, so let's get into it. If you like the pod, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's go.
What's up, boys?
What's
What's
up? What's up, boys? What's going on?
I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
college football's going on, man. That's what's going on.
Of
I
course,
mean,
of course.
wild rivalry weekend.
Oh yeah, let's get
Had
into it.
let's
Facts.
get straight into it. Had some, some of the lower teams. NC State upset North Carolina.
That
Yeah,
was
I
lit.
saw the ending of that game.
That was
I was crazy.
I mean, this just proves the ACC is trash.
Yeah, their
They're
bowl record reflects it too.
Yeah, I mean, I think North Carolina dropped 24. They're playing in their conference championship game against Clemson. They probably might win the game because Clemson is trash too.
Clemson is dog water.
I think they went to OT.
Yeah, OT. It was a
Yeah,
final
so
OT
20
again. Yeah.
Yeah. They like missed the field goal or some shit.
Yeah. I mean, they lost in OT. I mean, it was a close game, but you can't drop to NC State here.
No, you
NC
can't.
State has not won a big game all year. You can't drop to them.
Not with the
Well-
Heisman candidate.
Yeah, and well, this successfully ruined Drake May's Heisman candidacy.
Yeah, I was hoping for a true freshman, man. Looked
The
good.
minimal Heisman candidacy he had.
Yeah.
Okay,
was-
I'll give you that.
He was still fourth in the race.
He had
Yeah.
but it was
Yeah.
fourth, and it was fourth in a mile.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like
well-
if you're fourth in the Heisman race, that just means you're not winning it this year, bud. Come back next
Yeah,
year.
maybe
Come back
next
for
year.
another.
Good.
That's what
Maybe
that means.
next year.
That
We'll
means
see
maybe
you
next
next year.
year.
Yeah,
Well,
I hope we see him next year.
Yeah, true. Yeah. But then with his loss, does CC Stroud also lose his Heisman candidacy? Like just saying.
I
don't-
think, yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I think that means Blake Corum should get. I mean, even though he didn't play it, but
He
he was the
didn't
next
play.
one.
He
But he's
played
the
like
next one.
he played like 4 snaps. Okay,
But he was the next one in the race. He was
He
the next
didn't
one
do
in the race.
anything. No.
he was
CJ
hurt.
Stroud, yeah,
He
CJ
took it
Stroud
out
lost
last
The
that
only
game.
person that's going to take the Heisman from CJ Stroud is going to be Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can
Is
see
it?
it.
That's
Yeah.
It's a two-man race right now between them since Hendon Hooker's fallen off with the injury and then didn't play great the last couple weeks. He's fallen out. This is a two-man race. I still feel like Stroud has the lead, but Williams could sneak in with a huge conference championship game.
officially right now, Caleb Williams is in the lead, and
He's
it's
in the
not
lead?
close. And it's
Okay.
not close.
It's because
Because
CJ Stroud threw 2 picks.
Yeah, yeah.
Feels-
Caleb Williams
feels
is now
bad.
minus 25,000, and CJ Stroud is plus 2,000.
Well, that's just the betting lead.
Yeah, but that's how they determined the race. But yeah, it's
There's a committee.
No, it's
No, no, no.
voters. Voters choose it, but
it's voters. But this is how everyone like judges where the Heisman is before the actual voting happens. Because they say okay, Caleb Williams has 20 votes, and then CJ Stroud has plus has like 3 or 4 votes, and that's how and then they determine basically a Vegas
Yeah.
odds for it. So yeah,
Makes
but
sense.
I mean, yeah, I think it's still close. I don't think it's that big because if Caleb Williams comes out here, they drop to Utah again, and he has a couple turnovers, he could lose it.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
I think he'd have to play pretty bad against Utah. But last time they played Utah, it was a high-scoring game.
That's how every single one of their games has been. Their defense is non-existent.
I mean, Utah had a good defense a couple years ago.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I'm talking USC. USC's defense is non-existent.
Well,
They're
it's
all
'cause
offense. It's a
they play
Lincoln
outside
Riley
the
team.
Big Ten
They-
and the
yeah.
SEC.
And so, I mean, it's a Lincoln Riley team. They don't play defense.
Yeah.
They
true.
recruit defensive players, sure.
Yeah, they don't.
Or maybe
play
they
it,
just
though.
take their
I don't know if they
offensive
do.
athletes.
They might
Okay,
just be
but
walk-ons.
maybe they just take their offensive athletes
just-
that like, hey, you're not
just
good
all
enough to start, so we're
walk-ons.
just gonna throw you on defense.
Oh, what were they like? Everyone's like fucking Trayvon Diggs, Oh, we don't want you to play wide receiver for us anymore. Go play corner. Is that what
yeah,
he's
that
saying?
was wild.
Exact same thing. Like, oh, bro, you're 6'4", you got a good arm, 250. Yeah, go play linebacker. Wait, what? Yeah,
What?
go play linebacker. We already got a quarterback.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, let's get back on track real quick. Back on track. Talking about the other teams that slipped. Jesse, this is a game you talked about a little bit that might be competitive. Texas
Yeah.
A&M kind of dominated LSU.
It was a tight game. I watched it. It was a pretty tight game up until about the third quarter when Jaden Daniels, for some unbeknownst reason, just didn't want to hold on to the football. He coughed it up and it got returned for 6. And from that point on, A&M was the more physical team and the more dominant team on both sides of the ball. I mean, their running back, Achane,
Yeah.
he ran for almost 200 yards, if not over 200
Yeah.
yards. It was just,
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
and
their
there was
game.
talk. There was talk that he wasn't going to play going into the week because he was kind of coming off an injury. Their season was over. They're not going to go play a bowl game, and he
Yeah.
came in and played. And I mean, they gave him 38 carries.
There was no
Pretty
reason to
wild.
not let him play. I mean, he's
Ooh.
got nothing to lose. He gets
Well,
hurt again.
it was talked that he was going to choose not to play.
Oh, well, he chose to play, and
Yeah,
he made
he
the
chose
right
to play.
choice.
They fed him the rock and got the dub.
Oh yeah, that defense played lights out. I feel like LSU probably should have had one more touchdown at the end there. It kind of looked like he had his foot in bounds, but ultimately they decided he didn't survive the fall.
But
But still, 15-point win for A&M going into that game. They were 4-7. They had no business winning, and they
So-
showed up.
So does if say so LSU still in the conference championship for the SEC. How does this affect Georgia if Georgia loses to LSC?
I think
Because
they're
now
still in.
I mean,
the
I'm not-
the
I'm not-
committee
I'm not-
loves them. They're
I'm-
still in.
No, I'm not. I don't think they're going to fall out of the top four. But do we see maybe them drop to like 3? Maybe with that loss.
Well, depending
Because
on
they
how it goes. Well, no, because if Michigan and TCU take care of business, they'll be 1 and 2 because they're undefeated.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they're still going to play that 2-3 game. If they lose, they're not dropping a 4. But
Depending on what USC does, it could be possible for them to drop the 4. If it's an ugly enough loss, they could drop the 4. I just don't see a way that they drop out though. The committee's not going to leave an SEC team out.
yeah, especially
Especially if one lost one.
yeah, definitely.
Say it
I
with
mean,
me. SEC bias.
Yes, SEC bias for
Yeah.
sure.
always and forever.
Especially with Tennessee being ranked above Penn State.
Yeah.
Because
Say
you got a
what?
cough there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
My
got
bad.
something stuck in your throat. Yeah.
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 Bullshit.
Well, another team that didn't take care of business, Clemson.
Yeah, they choked on special teams at the end of the
Yeah.
game.
Choked
Feels
to South
bad.
Carolina, got held
Love to see
scoreless in the
it.
fourth quarter. And all South Carolina did in the fourth quarter was score 1 field
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah. It was
Love to
not a
see
very
it.
exciting game at the end until that fumble recovery on special teams.
And,
Is it? You good?
oh, I was gonna say, is that South Carolina's coach came out and he said, everyone was saying Clemson needed a big win, this week. Well, they needed to focus on just getting a win.
Yeah, they needed to just win, and they didn't do it. Now they're not making the playoffs, and they're falling out of grace.
I don't like this team. Haven't liked Clemson all year. We've been talking about it all year. This is a team that was beaten up on inferior opponents in the ACC. The conference is trash altogether through and through. They were
Yeah.
getting wins against nobodies. They played 2 decent teams and lost to both of them. This is a team. They're still ranked top 10. They're going to get a New Year's Six bowl, and they're going to get clapped in the New Year's Six bowl.
Oh yes, they will, because the ACC has a .182 win percentage in bowl games since 2020. So yeah, that conference is bad.
It's pretty good.
I feel like
That's
every ACC team that can't beat Jackson State shouldn't be in the ACC anymore.
Oh,
Facts.
is that how you're doing it now?
Yeah.
Facts, bro. Jackson State's the benchmark.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they get what they got to do with
I
Coach
don't know.
Prime.
Deion
Coach
Sanders might
Prime.
be out though. He might be out though. He said he's had a lot of offers. I know one of the teams was Colorado offered him. And he said he had a bunch of other D1 offers that he was considering.
Is he going to take his son with him, though?
Yeah,
Because
didn't
his son
Shakur
moves with
just-
him?
Probably.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
didn't Shakur just
I would
go over there?
imagine he would. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of coaching vacancies, get off topic just a little bit. Nebraska signs Matt Rule.
Matt Rule, baby.
Ooh, okay. Interesting.
I like
Hate
that.
it,
I
but
like that
interesting.
pickup.
He's a good college coach.
He's won in college wherever he's been. At Baylor, he was winning. So give him a chance. Put him in the Big Ten. See what he
I'm
can
just not a
do.
Matt Rule guy.
He's in the Big Ten West, which
Yeah.
it's a weak division. So like, hopefully he can get a good winning season out before it's no longer a divisionless conference. We might lose those, and he might have to play Big Ten East teams most of the year. Can he recruit well enough for Nebraska?
I bet he'd love that. I want to hear his sales pitch.
That's the
But
real
hey.
question, because Nebraska's problem is they think they're a bigger name than they are, because 25 years ago they won a couple natties.
Yeah.
Well, guess
The
what?
the Cornhuskers, bro.
You haven't been good since. You can't bring in a talent like in Ohio State and Michigan and Alabama. You're not that school. No one wants to go to the middle of nowhere, bumfuck Nebraska, in the middle of a cornfield and play football.
Unless it's an elite program,
Yeah.
which he's got to establish if he wants those 5 stars.
I want to hear his pitch.
This is. I mean, it's a tough ask.
Same.
I don't. Tough ask. Even being in the Big Ten West, yeah, you get a chance to win a couple extra games because you're playing, Purdue and Northwestern. But in the end, even if he makes it to a conference championship, he's not going to have the talent to compete.
No.
Well, I don't want to hear you
Absolutely
slight
not.
Purdue. Purdue's in the Big Ten championship, and
Yeah.
you just get out here and threw shade at them.
Yeah, and they're going to lose
Bro,
49-14.
Here comes the train, bro. Are you hopping on the Purdue train?
Absolutely not.
No. Purdue's not good.
No. I know, but you can't But I mean, at least right now, Purdue is at least good in the Big Ten West.
They lost to
How?
Wisconsin.
What are you? All right, Dan.
Okay.
But they're still good. They're still the best team in the Big Ten West, apparently.
The
made
Big
it-
Ten West is a
That's
joke.
because the Big Ten West is trash.
But I didn't
Yeah.
say. But I didn't say like they're the
It-
best team in the Big Ten. I said Big Ten West.
They're a
Like,
top
Hey, Dan,
congrats,
honestly-
Clemson's the best team in the ACC.
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
cares?
That's a solid fact.
No,
It's
it's
a whole-
trash.
Being king of Trash Mountain is not an accomplishment.
But at least you're king of something. Penn State can't say anything, so I'm just saying. Like at least
Okay.
Purdue's king of something.
We play in a good division though.
But we never finished above 3.
That's not true. We won the conference in 2016.
And
Nice.
then we got clapped by Sam Darnold.
No. We lost by 3 because Trace is a bum.
Hey, you leave that man alone. He's out there balling.
But who was the quarterback you played against? It was in fact Sam Darnold.
Darnold. Sam
He did lose to
Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Another team that didn't
Sam
take care
Darnold
of
goes.
business. Oregon dropped.
And they choked like a 30-point lead.
I think it was a 28 point or 21 point comeback, something like that,
Oh,
Yeah.
for Oregon State.
It was
Makes
They,
me
wild.
they
cry.
choked it late. I mean, yeah, Oregon State won the fourth quarter 21-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, which allowed
Interesting.
what allowed the Utes to sneak into the Pac-12 championship.
Yeah, because
yeah.
there was a 3-way tie
tie.
between Oregon,
Who-
the
Was it
Utes, and Washington.
was it just before? Was it just between Washington and Oregon before that? Or
Oregon would have been guaranteed in if
or
they had won.
Oregon
No,
was guaranteed in.
It all depends. If Oregon had won, they were guaranteed in because they would have only had one loss in conference. But because they lost, it was a 3-way tie
Right,
between
tie-
two loss:
brought in the
Utah,
third.
Washington,
And
and
yeah,
Oregon.
Utah had the best strength of schedule.
Yeah.
So,
So-
it came down to that.
We'll get to see USC go up against Utah again, a team they lost to. Is their one loss on the year, so they'll get a chance to have a little revenge game.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
There you go.
Yeah, like we always say, it's hard to beat a team twice. So I don't know if Utah can sneak it out.
It's going to all have to come on the defensive end from Utah. If they can slow down and make USC's life hard in that passing game, they have a good shot.
Yeah, they didn't keep Caleb Williams in the pocket. When
That's
he gets out
that's a
rolling,
challenge.
he
That's,
makes good plays.
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
a challenge that no one's really been able to figure out.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams still threw 5 touchdowns against the Utes last time.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He went out and slowed the football. He just, in that fourth quarter, Utah was able to put up 15, where the Trojans got, they got a couple stops, but the Trojans weren't able to score.
They just need that one stop that gets them the win.
Yeah, but that's how
Just
you beat a
one.
Lincoln Riley team.
One
You
stop.
just need
yeah.
to get one
get one
stop at the
stop.
right time and you win because they
Yeah,
have no
you go-
defense.
you
You
go
know you're going to
score
be able
for
to march
score.
and score.
You got to go score
Yeah.
for score, and then your defense has to get one stop, and then you say, okay, now we're going to run the game.
That's why Georgia beat Oklahoma a few years ago in the playoffs. They got one
Yeah.
stop.
One stop and ran the ball for like 730 yards.
It only takes one.
Yep.
And
Okay.
JT,
Yeah, I mean-
there's a team,
there's one more team.
There's
one
one
more
more
team that
team.
did not, in fact, take care of business.
and I know
Hey, I
this
bet-
is someone that you're upset about.
Can we insert?
Yeah.
Can we insert a warning here for a rant? Can we insert a
Yeah.
rant
Yeah,
warning?
it'll come in a
Explicit
second.
language incoming.
It'll come in a second. We're gonna get into that, but I mean, let's talk about the game first. Ohio State sold out for the run. It was very evident they sold out 100% for the run. Got beat over the top a couple times, and I mean that was the difference of the game. Ohio State. I mean the pocket was good for C.J. Stroud. pretty much the whole game up until, right at the end when we were already down 3 scores. So I just you can't sell out. You gotta obviously play the run against Michigan, but you can't sell out that hard to where if one person gets beat, you're giving up 80-yard touchdowns. Like that can't happen. I mean, the run defense was great up until the last 2 runs of the game. I mean, you got 160 of their rushing yards in the last 2 runs of the game. So, I mean, we really held them to like 2 yards a carry for almost the whole game. But in the end, when you're going to allow them just a team that can't pass the ball to pass for almost 300 yards, it doesn't matter.
But I mean,
Yeah.
you still let them run for 10 yards a game.
Yeah,
10 yard-
technically,
10 yards carry.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
7 yards as a team. Okay, stop.
Well, Donovan Edwards, not
9.8.
even their start 9.8. Just saying,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
It's not
JJ
10, but,
McCarthy did what I said he was going to do against Ohio State. I predicted 4, but he got 3 because he decided he was going to run one in. But
And then CJ Stroud got those 2 picks you called for him, though.
yeah,
So,
he did. He
yeah.
did. I made some pretty bold takes that paid off, and I expected better from Ohio State, but I just wanted to make that off the wall pick, and it was right. I did believe Michigan was a better team, but I thought Ohio State would still squeak it out because losing at the shoe is not something you do.
Yeah,
You just don't lose there.
I think this is a team that offensively we need to be healthy. 2 running backs down. We need those running backs. I mean, Mayan Williams had a couple carries, but he clearly wasn't healthy. They let Trip train him.
Yeah,
DeMonte
Traynor.
Traynor. I mean, he ran for 5.9 of carries, so he was
Yeah,
doing well.
I mean, he had but I mean, he's a transfer in. It's his first year with the team. He's been hurt all year, and for someone that's hurt all year to come in and be the premier running back shows that Mayan Williams wasn't healthy. Travion Henderson didn't play. We're still missing Jackson Smith and Jigba. I feel like this is an Ohio State team that if USC or TCU drops a game and we get in by 5 weeks from now, when we go to play in that bowl game, we're going to be healthy. Everyone will be back. I think this offense is going to look different because we're really missing that quick wide receiver that can make a guy miss. That Jackson Smith and Jigba is that exact guy in this offense. We're missing that. Julian Fleming and Emeka Ibuka are not run after the catch guys. And Marvin Harris is just a big body. He's going to make crazy catches, but he's not outrunning anyone.
Nah, he's going to box them out and make those wild one-handed catches on the sideline. He's going to get you that 3rd and 18 conversion.
Right. So we have 3 like possession wide receivers right now. They're not going to get a bunch of yards after the catch. I mean, Ibuka had the one catch that he was so open in the middle, he got like 25 yards after the catch. But for the most part, these guys aren't making anyone miss. So when you're having to complete, every pass is, wherever the receiver catches it is where he's going down. It makes it harder on the offense. You need a couple guys to make some plays, make a guy miss, get some extra yards. We didn't have that against Michigan. We need Jackson Smith and Jigba back. If we make the playoff, he'll be back for that. If we don't make the playoff, he's not playing this year. He's going pro. We'll see him later.
Yeah,
See him on draft night.
I think another huge thing is like you feel like you guys were so far down in your third down efficiency in this game. You guys went 5 for 16, which you're normally a lot higher on if you get to third down, and it seems like you guys really just weren't converting on some of those big plays, and that definitely contributed. You still had 23 first downs, but
I think the bigger thing that contributed to it was the 3 field goals in the red zone.
Yeah,
it put a lot of morale in Michigan.
We had a big chance to get a big lead going into half, and we were forced to take field goals. And we had a 3-point lead at half, but the game was way closer than it should have been, and it allowed Michigan to continue to play their game. And with us giving up a couple of those big passes, we didn't adjust our defense until after the pass out of halftime that they gave them the long touchdown to the tight end, and then we adjusted to a 2-deep safety, and they just started running the ball on us. So Ohio State's got to figure out something it can't be we give them one thing or we give them another. There's got to be a defense in the middle that that can, slow down the run game while also not getting cooked every play over the top.
It's hard to slow down that Michigan run game. That offensive line is big, and they are hungry. They want all their running backs to eat, especially Donovan Edwards, who is not even the starter, ran for 216, 2 big
But
plays.
I will say this too. Out of the last 4 matchups against Ohio State, Michigan, the winner of the game had more rushing yards.
Actually, I believe the stat is 21 straight.
Is it 21 straight?
I believe the announcer said 21 straight
Okay.
games. The leading rushing team won.
Well, then I will. If that's a stat, I will diverge to that.
We can look it up, but that's what they said.
Yeah, I'll take your word on that. I just know it's for sure the last 4 matchups. But what I want to get into, I want to talk a little bit of Ryan Day, and here's where the rant's gonna come in. Okay?
All right, let's go.
So
Insert rant here.
we're gonna go back to the last coach to lose back-to-back games to Michigan. The coach's name was John Cooper. He took over the program in 1988. He coached at Ohio State for 13 years. His last year was 2000. The last time we lost 2 games was 1999 and 2000. 2000 was also the last year we lost to Michigan at home. John Cooper was a great recruiter, a pretty decent coach over his career at Ohio State over 13 years. He was 111 and 43. So he had a 71% win percentage. So he was winning games. It's not the dominance that we saw after him, but the issue was he was 2-10-1 against Michigan in those 13 years, and he was 3-8 in bowl games. So there's starting to be a little bit of a kind of a little pattern here, because you go to Jim Tressel, who took over in 2001. He was 106 and 22 at Ohio State, 83% win percentage. But against Michigan, he was 9-1. And in his bowl games, he was 6-4, and that included a national championship win. Then the next coach that I'm not going to count Luke Fickell because he was an interim. It was not a good year. I don't blame him for what happened, but he did lose to Michigan. But then Urban Meyer took over. He went 83-9. 90% win percentage. He was 7-0 against Michigan and 5-2 in bowl games, including a natty win. But then we get to Ryan Day. Ryan Day is 45-5. So he has by far the highest win percentage, but he's 1-2 against Michigan. So 2 of his 5 losses are against Michigan, and 2 of his losses are in bowl games. He's 2-2 in bowl games. That includes like playoff losses. So he's all of his losses are coming either in bowl games or to Michigan. So he's not winning the big games. He's not winning the games we expect him to win. And when you look at Ryan Day, the players he's got to coach, Justin Fields, Chris Olave, all these guys, you relate it back to John Cooper, and you go, who did John Cooper coach in his 13 years? I want to see if you guys recognize any of these names. Eddie George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey Galloway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Orlando Pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Antone Winfield.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sean Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel.
Oh, Mike Vrabel. I love him.
So we're talking, he coached Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer at Ohio State. They were winning games, but they couldn't beat Michigan.
It's a coaching problem.
And he got fired because he couldn't beat Michigan. You're going 10-2 or 9-3 every year, and one of those losses is to Michigan every year. You're not going to be around very long. And so for Ryan Day, I worry about this. Now, I will give him a little bit of a pass because he should be 2-2 against Michigan. But, during the pandemic, we were supposed to play Michigan, but Michigan started 2-4 and then said, oh, we can't play football the rest of the year. Sorry. So we all know Justin Fields was going to put up 400 passing yards on him. We were going to run a train on Michigan because Michigan was trash. So I'll give Ryan Day a little bit of a pass. He should be 500 against Michigan, but still, he is the last coach since 2001. We had 1 loss or 2 losses to Michigan with Luke Fickell. before Ryan Day. Now we have 4. So in 21 years, I mean, yeah, we're 17-4 against Michigan in the past 21 years. But if 2 of them have come in back-to-back years, there's a problem there. You're coaching great talent. You went out and you got a defensive coordinator that had been great the whole year, but then was awful against Michigan. The offense was not good against Michigan. Now, there are some injuries there, but you got to be better. And to be honest, in the second half, he looked like he got outcoached. He looked like he had no idea what to do. It looked like Jim Harbaugh was in his head, and he was just defeated at that point. And I mean, it was a close game almost the whole game. You got to pull out those games, especially at the shoe. I'm worried that Ryan Day is the next John Cooper. If he continues to lose to Michigan and drop bowl games, he's going to be the next John Cooper. He'll probably stick around for a couple of years because he's winning over 90% of his games. But he's not winning the games that matter. And, we got blown out in a natty. We lost a close game to Clemson under Ryan Day in those 2 bowl games. And then 2 losses to Michigan. In the last 2 years, we've been bullied by Michigan. We have better talent, the better teams, and we're getting bullied. That's a coaching problem.
Yeah, you know who Ryan Day reminds me of? James Franklin. Can't win the big game, but he wins 10 games almost every year. In this case, Ryan Day 11.
I mean, yeah, he pretty much wins 12 games every year. I mean, you go to your bowl game. I mean, yeah, it's just he's got to fix it. And what I want to see this year, I want to see Ohio State make the playoff. I want them to be at 4, Michigan to be at 2, and I want to meet Michigan in the Natty, and I want to see. Because you can't lose to Michigan once in a season, but you sure as hell can't lose to Michigan twice.
What if you do? What are you gonna say then? You calling for his job?
Get him out of here.
Yeah, I mean, he can't beat Michigan. I would rather lose the bowl game and beat Michigan every year than lose to Michigan and win a natty. Okay. Fuck that team up north. We can't have it. That is the team you have to guarantee beat every year.
Clip that, Dan.
All right, I'll remind it. So, if Ryan Day continues, is there any coaches that you want to see, maybe take over the reins at Ohio State? Like
bring back Urban Meyer.
No, he won't.
And bring back Carlos Hyde.
No.
Because I was reading this little article while you're going on your rant, and someone said it's like, 2 coaches that are getting ready to if they're replacing Ryan Day was one was Mike Vrabel, which I thought was absolutely absurd that they would say that. They're like, it's his alma mater, but I was like, that's dumb. The other one was Luke Fickell, and they said that he's grown a whole bunch since.
So Luke Fickell was a linebacker for Ohio State under John Cooper.
Yeah,
I'll put that out there too.
Baby.
So he is an Ohio State guy. He was an assistant coach at Ohio State for multiple years. In the interim year after the Tressel scandal and everything, he coached with us. Not a good year. He did lose to Michigan. I would actually like to see Luke Fickell come back.
Yeah, they're talking like he's grown a whole bunch since he started coaching Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, and the way he's been at Cincinnati is like I would like to see Fickell back. I'm not gonna lie. Now I did see a article talk. Wisconsin has offered Luke Fickell the job.
Okay.
So that could be interesting. But I think Luke Fickell is probably my top choice because he understands the game. He understands, and by the game I mean Ohio State, Michigan. He understands that rivalry, and it kind of feels like Ryan Day has the talk. Oh, got to beat Michigan every year. This is the game we live for, but you're not winning the game. I feel like Luke Fickell with where he was when Urban Meyer took over. Yeah, Fickell wasn't ready. He's ready now.
Yeah. So I'm seeing that that on Sunday is when we'll find out if Wisconsin actually did get to hire Luke Fickell and steal him from Cincinnati. That's when the deal would be made public, or official. So that's when we'll find out if Luke.
Even then, I think it's a situation where if that Ohio State job comes open you're
he'll
leaving
jump.
Wisconsin for Ohio State.
Yeah, he'll jump on it. Yeah,
It's just like how dude from Clemson. I'm blanking on his name now. The coach from who's the head coach for Clemson? I'm sure Dabo Sweeney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sweeney.
Yeah, Jesus. Dabo Sweeney has an opt-out in his contract that if the Alabama job opens up, he can leave, no repercussions for Alabama.
That's wild.
Wow.
But
I
he
didn't-
went to Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's still wild.
He's had it for the past like 6 years.
that's
That
like
does not change my statement. It's
Yeah.
still wild that that's in his
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
It's worded in his contract. He can like normally you have to get bought out from your contract or stuff like that.
They get to
Normally the
buy
team you
what-
go to will
yeah.
buy it out. It is literally an opt-out clause in his contract that he can leave, no repercussions, cut ties with Clemson to go to Alabama.
that's
Do we see
So-
something similar here?
I think I don't know if we'll see something like that, but Ohio State's got money. That's not an issue here. If
Yeah.
Ohio State wants Luke Fickle,
Hey,
if Ohio
hey,
State
hey.
wants Lincoln Riley or whatever,
No, hey,
Come on, bud. Come on.
It's non-profit. It's non-profit.
it's not. It's legal now.
Oh,
It's legal to pay players now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just go talk to the booster. Hey,
The
offer
past,
him
like,
a
2
deal.
years.
Just making sure.
Wait. So I know players are allowed to get deals to make money. Are teams now allowed to
Pay them.
pay them?
Yeah.
Technically, with the way they
Texas
do it
A&M
now,
did.
yeah.
Okay.
A&M
okay.
bought their whole recruiting class and went full 5-7, something like that.
Because
out pretty well.
your team is funded by the boosters most of the time.
Okay.
So most of the boosters have their own businesses and stuff. So it's just
so
hey,
like a
boosters.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're giving you. Hey, if
So-
you come here, our booster's going to give you $1 million.
So it's not like
NIL deal.
it's not like Ohio State saying, "Hey, we'll give you such and such scholarship money, and plus we'll give you another."
No, Ohio State
five-
themselves is
that
not
was-
paying
okay,
them.
okay.
But it's just that you have the boosters there that you go to the boosters and you go, Dan, you're a booster at Penn State, and James Franklin comes up to you and goes, "Hey, I need you to offer this 5-star, a $2 million NIL deal to come here."
Okay.
All right, we'll do it right now.
And so
Nice.
and that's what happens. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
All right, bet. Better win a
Now-
natty.
CJ Stroud is going to leave Ohio State after this year, almost certainly.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting thing. Marvin Harrison will be back next year. The likely starting quarterback at Ohio State next year is going to be Kyle McCord.
Never
Now-
know who that is.
Everyone's talking, okay, you're going to have to learn new receivers. Kyle McCord was Marvin Harrison Jr.'s high school quarterback.
No, they're gonna have chemistry day one.
Kyle McCord is actually the reason Marvin Harrison went to Ohio State.
Oh,
Kyle McCord recruited Marvin Harrison to Ohio State.
Oh wow, he was a 5-star quarterback.
He was a 5-star quarterback, yeah.
that's pretty wild.
So there's already a connection right there. So I know there's still a lot of season left. We still got bowl games and everything, but next year there's already an instant connection between the best wide receiver in the country and the incumbent starter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And they're both juniors, so they're both gonna be one and done at Ohio
Well,
State.
technically, redshirt sophomores.
Yeah, but he's gonna leave if he has an insane
Technically.
year. If he wins the Heisman, wins a natty, he's leaving. He doesn't even have to.
Oh,
do
for
that. He's
sure,
leaving.
for sure.
He's gonna leave
Yeah, out.
regardless.
Yeah, I think you could see 2 years from Kyle McCord.
If
Marvin
Harrison
Harrison's
stays.
probably out
Yeah.
after
I think
next
he
year.
leaves if Harrison leaves.
It depends on how good of a year he has. If he has like an elite year, like the Dwayne
Right.
Haskins 1 year,
Yeah,
Yeah,
where you can
he's
guarantee
probably
that
leaving.
he'll get a good.
he's going to be a
good
first round
draft.
pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even Justin, well, I guess Justin Fields technically had to come back for 2 years, but if he doesn't have an elite year where he's lands top 3 in the Heisman, leads Ohio State into the college football playoff, goes crazy, he'll be back for a second year.
So, do you think Jackson Smith and Jigba's gonna be back, or do you think he's gonna?
No,
no,
I
absolutely
don't
not.
see it. I mean, he could, like the way Olave came back, where there was really no reason for Olave to come back. He was going to be a first round pick,
Well,
but he said, I had unfinished business. But I expect Jackson Smith and Jigba to go pro after this year.
my other thing is like I worry about his draft stock because he hasn't played. He's played 3 games this year. Like, okay, sure, he had a
He's definitely not going to be the first receiver off the board anymore.
I think
but
he's
I still feel like he's going to be a high, or not a high first round. He'll be a first round pick or early second.
all right.
I can see it. I can see it. He spent the whole year hurt, so they're
You know
gonna
what
have
the-
injury
you know-
concerns.
You know what my Giants like to do? We like to draft hurt players.
Oh, no way! The Titans like doing that too.
Oh, bro, high
Yeah.
five.
Yeah, but I think the Titans have gotten a lot more steals from college people.
Are you sure? Let's look at Caleb Farley. Where's he at? Oh, he's on IR again with another disc.
Oh, Jeffrey Simmons.
He's an anomaly, okay? Just leave Jeffrey Simmons alone. We like him down here.
All right.
Let's get back to college football. Let's talk the upcoming conference championship games, or the ones that matter at least.
Championship.
Georgia, LSU. What's your take, boys?
Georgia.
LSU. Next question.
Oh, good. So Georgia,
Yay!
he's guaranteeing a Georgia win. Let's
Round of
go.
applause.
Yeah,
All
get
right.
that. Bruce, you should have used it on USC. You're an idiot, but that's fine.
Hey, we get two.
I'm not in
No,
college.
you get one per week.
Yeah. What? Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought
but are they in a
games.
different?
There's 6 games, Bruce. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but like, is USD? Yeah, never mind. I was about to ask.
If
a dumbass
USC
question.
loses, there's a good chance Ohio State could get in.
Let's go.
Oh, because
Yeah.
Ohio State's at 5. So if USC, or I honestly even feel if TCU loses, Ohio State moves in.
Yeah, I'd put Ohio State over TCU if they lost.
Yeah.
Anyone that's not Georgia or Michigan, if they lose, we get in.
I believe so. Yeah,
There's a good chance, yeah. USC is more likely. TCU, might.
They could still put TCU in over us if USC loses. Guaranteed, we're in.
Yeah, because of the one. But anyway, I think Georgia's going to beat LSU. Like LSU's kind of like they look like they're looking a little sloppy, especially in that Texas A&M game.
I wonder if they looked ahead. I really do wonder if they looked ahead.
I definitely think that was probably what they did. They're probably like, oh, we're just going to focus on the Georgia game. Now, I mean, to be fair, like that's a much more important game than that Texas A&M game because it doesn't really. I don't know if they would have made the championship.
They had a chance because they were, I mean, in that
6.
they were at 6. So there's always the chance that with that win they leapfrog, an Ohio State, a USC. There was always a chance there with how bad USC's defense has been, Ohio State in that bad loss. There was a chance that they could have jumped, but I mean it was still a wild long shot.
I think it was yeah.
But they definitely had the best chance out of any 2-loss team. Like Alabama, I don't see any chance Alabama gets in this year.
Especially that
Not unless like TCU loses, USC loses, and Michigan gets blown out by Purdue. Like that would be the only possible way that they would even have a shot. Like it's unreasonable. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
there's not enough SEC bias out there.
Well, there's enough SEC bias. There's always.
Well, it's out.
SEC
It's
bias.
out there, but I don't think they're putting in a 2-loss Alabama team.
Not right now.
Even if all of that happens,
they would need pure chaos. It would be. It's even then. I don't think it happens. But the Friday night game, USC versus Utah. We talked about it a little bit already. Does Utah, get back-to-back wins against USC this year?
No, it's hard to beat a team twice. Really is. I think this time the offense is a bit slower. I think USC may figure something out on defense. I know it's a Lincoln Riley team. I know how they play. Okay.
Are you telling me their defense is going to learn something? Because in my experience with Lincoln Riley, the defense never learns.
Hear me out. Lincoln Riley's team is going to get one stop the entire game, and it's going to win it. I'm calling it.
Okay. So the betting line right now is a 3-point game in favor of USC.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
I mean, it seems reasonable.
That makes sense.
give me Utah. I'll be that guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me Utah. I'll double down. They beat them once, they'll do it again.
I just think
I want Utah to win. I really want Utah to win, but I'm going to go USC here. I think they're going to win.
Caleb Williams has been too hot right now.
Hey, these pick'ems don't have punishments. It's fine.
Oh,
Give me Utah.
Oh, you think that?
That's what you think, boss.
Yeah.
Give me Utah.
Utah Utes, baby. Okay.
We'll talk a little. I guess one conference game that doesn't matter. Clemson, North Carolina. What do you boys got here?
I mean, Clemson took a bad loss. UNC took a bad loss. Both are in a slump. Both want to bounce back. I think Drake May and the Tar Heels bounce back harder because at this point Clemson probably doesn't care. Their season's done in their eyes.
I think
feel
they
the
do
same way.
care because they're still playing for a New Year's Six bowl. Like if they lose this game, they probably don't make a New Year's Six. They're playing in the Idaho Potato Bowl or some trash bowl
Hey,
game.
don't diss the Idaho Potato Bowl, okay? You listen here.
Okay, sorry, Spud.
Prestigious bowl game. It'll be the Natty one day.
well,
yeah,
okay.
Clip that.
All right.
Clip that.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad we're making intelligent conversations here.
That will not age well.
I mean, some dumb stuff I said last week aged well.
Yeah, this is a little bit more unintelligent than that.
I don't know, man. A&M
I
or
don't know.
LSU was pretty unintelligent.
I don't know if it was.
I'll take the Tar Heels in this matchup. I want
think-
to see Clemson. I want to see Clemson fall down more pegs from their
I would love to
stupid
see
thing.
Clemson lose, but again, I think they do squeak this one out. Close game though.
Yeah, I want to see Clemson burn to the ground. So give me UNC all day.
Let's go.
And I really do like Drake May. I want to see the kid do good, and I definitely think this helps UNC secure a couple weapons for Drake May if they win.
Yeah.
That game's all about recruiting right there. You need to win to get
definitely.
recruits.
Yeah,
That's what
and I mean, with Drake May being a freshman, it does entice some of those recruits to like, hey, come.
Yeah,
I got 2 years with this dude.
Yeah, like we're the champions of the ACC. Yeah, it might sway a couple people. I don't think it's going to be like it's not going to take UNC from like wherever they're at to like number 3, but I think it'll help them get a couple good recruits if they win.
It could,
See,
yeah.
you say champion of the ACC like that matters.
It matters to
But
people that go to that conference.
Yeah,
It matters for a New Year's Six bowl. So.
Yeah, it's like a
okay.
it's like a pride thing. It's like a little bit of a pride thing,
But hey, this game is the reverse effect of USC Utah. Utah won against USC because kind of the underdog that won. TCU Kansas State. TCU beat Kansas State earlier this year. Are they going to be able to beat Kansas State twice?
It's going to be hard. I mean, Adrian Martinez might play in this game. I don't know if he's going to start because Will Howard's been balling out so far. But it is hard to beat a team twice. I think maybe K-State gets their number this time.
Yeah, I still like TCU in this matchup, and I believe that TCU has one of their star receivers coming back from injury.
Well, he's been playing. Quentin Johnston's been playing.
Yeah, but I think he's going to be like fully up to speed. I think is what someone said, that he's not. He's gonna like he's been playing, but he hasn't been like 100%. I think he's saying that he's gonna be 100% going into this game.
Okay, and TCU is a 2.5 point favorite in this game.
That's real low.
That is a really, really low favorite. They won by 10 last time.
They're expecting a safety somewhere.
Now, Adrian Martinez did get hurt in that game, and that was Will Howard's first game playing, so you don't know how much that affected it. Like, obviously, Will Howard's played 5 games since then, and he's been playing well, so you never know, what might happen with that. But I want TCU to lose because I need my boys in the playoff, but I also want to see TCU make the playoffs, and we're rooting for a USC loss. Go Frogs!
Okay.
Go Frogs!
Go Frogs!
Keeping my
Show
K-State
me your
pick,
horns.
man. Keeping that upset.
I think that is probably the upset that's going to happen, but I would like to see TCU make the playoff.
I think we all do. I want to see new teams make it in.
They played some good football this year, man. Like, give it to them. They put it together this year.
They're the only team right now that can say we dominated our conference.
Yeah.
They have beaten every team in their conference.
And their jerseys are so slick.
And
Put the purple in the playoff.
They do have one of the harder mascots in college football. We'll give it to them. But
Mascot Rumble. If I'm not taking Brutus, I'm taking Horn Frog. Sorry.
Well, we'll jump to this game real quick. It's probably not going to be a close game. Michigan's favored by 16.5, but Michigan Purdue. I'm taking Michigan 42-14.
Did you say 60.5?
16.5.
Oh, I was like, wow.
Well, that's a FCS
I was like,
team
wow.
coming in.
That would have been big odds.
Yeah.
You guys,
Yeah.
yeah, everyone got Michigan.
No, give me Purdue all day.
No, give me Purdue all day, bro. Yes, I'm taking Michigan.
Okay, I just wanted to double check.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes y'all be coming with some wild stuff.
I'm gonna take Michigan just because I don't think Purdue can pull this one out of their ass like they did a couple years ago against Ohio State. It's
It'd
they
be
don't
real
got it.
cool
Well,
if they
they
did.
also had a
but I don't
5-star
think they
recruit
will.
on their team by the name of Rondale Moore. So
He was pretty good that
Yeah,
year.
but like that Charlie guy that transferred from Iowa, he's got a good connection with that quarterback. Did you know they were childhood friends? They told me 72 times week 1 when they played Penn State.
oh yeah, and got blown out.
Oh, they didn't get blown out. It was a close game.
Oh well, that's
There was also
unfortunate
the
for Penn State,
infamous
isn't it?
Puke 6. I don't know if you saw that. The Puke 6. That
Yeah.
was pretty good from Purdue. Now, Michigan's going to win. Purdue, I don't think they got a shot. I don't think Michigan covers, though. I think it's only like a 10 to 13 point win.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I
the
also
last-
don't think they cover a 60-point spread.
Oh, good. Go home.
Fantastic, Bruce. Thank you for that insightful information.
Goodbye.
You're welcome.
The last conference championship game with even a semblance of relevance. UCF is playing Tulane, the Green Wave.
Yeah,
Green
baby.
Let's go.
So I'm going Tulane. Give me my boy Pratt. You know, at quarterback, balling out. You know, Deuce Watts at wide receiver. Give me Tulane.
I'll take Tulane here as well.
I
think, yeah.
I'm
Like,
excited.
it's-
I'm
Take
excited
the
to see.
2017 Natty. UCF,
Yeah.
baby. UCF, the 2017 national champions, baby.
Are they?
The
They claim it. They claim
self-proclaimed
it. Yeah, they
national
went
champion.
undefeated and beat Auburn, who beat Alabama, who won the Natty. So therefore, they claim it.
Oh, okay. That makes
That's
sense.
yeah. They didn't make the playoff and they didn't make the Natty, but they went undefeated and they beat the team who won. So, I guess in some people's minds.
Someone
in
should
their
send them a
minds.
trophy.
We should. Let's make one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been the Boys and Ball Pod. If you liked, hit the subscribe button, hit the like. Bow.